Welcome to breakfast. It's technically a lunch food, but I eat different foods at all different kind of random times throughout the day. It's 10 a.m. It's going to be my first meal for today. This is my favorite meal of the day, and just kind of give you guys some ideas and some macros of stuff to do that's simple. So first off, I'm going to start off. I've got two 4-ounce patties of 90-10 ground beef. Now with that, I just use a little bit of salt and pepper on them. I actually make up a handful of patties on Sunday, so then I can reheat them up throughout the week. Now the problem I have with beef is when you reheat it, sometimes it's a little dry. So I actually make a burger sauce that I'm going to go over with, and I'm going to share all the macros and ingredients on this post. So I've got my two 4-ounce patties of ground beef. Again, 90-10. This is a large meal. I'm fortunate enough I get a decent amount of calories because I do burn a lot throughout the day. So again, for those that may be looking at this who get less calories, you just cut this recipe or this thing in half. So with my burgers, and then right here I've got my what I call my burger sauce. I don't know why it's in this weird container. I guess this is all we probably had. But what I do is I make a combination of a mayo, ketchup, mustard, onion, pickle, and tomato, and then I let it actually sit overnight, kind of marinates in, and then I throw this over the top of my burgers. Typically, I would put a piece of Colby Jack cheese on each one of these burgers when I heat it up, but I'm trying to be supportive of my wife, Nicole, who's battling some bad headaches, and we're going to eliminate dairy for a little bit in our nutrition to see if that's one of the issues that's causing her headaches. Not that dairy's bad, but we're just seeing if that's an inflammatory mark for her. And I told her I would support that. So I'm just trying to be a good husband, but I would really wish I had some cheese on that. So you can do that as well for some of you looking out there. Now with this, again, I precisely measure everything. So in this little sauce that I have that I'm going to dump over this, I've got 1 tablespoon of avocado oil mayo. Again, this is whole quality ingredients. It's not your Hellmann's. It's not your Miracle Whip that has canola oil, soybean oil, all those high inflammation, terrible fats for you. This is a good, clean, healthy fat. So I do 1 tablespoon of this. I then take 1 tablespoon of the Primal Kitchen ketchup. This is unsweetened. There's no sugar in this. It's low carbohydrate. As you see, this is a low carbohydrate meal. I typically prefer to keep my meals very low carb and save my carbohydrates for either directly after a workout or for my last meal. That way I can have a handful more of potatoes or berries or fruit. It's just a little more satiating for me, and I also feel better throughout the day. So again, low sugar ketchup or no sugar ketchup. And then I do a tablespoon of mustard and a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. The reason I do that is, one, it allows it to stay a little bit thinner because this will get thick, and mustard is not calorie free, but pretty much calorie free. So I don't even count it or register it in my FitnessPal because there's little to nothing in it. Mustard seed and vinegar, pretty much. So then with that, I've got 1 ounce of chopped white onion in here. With that, I've got 2 slivers of a spear of dill pickle, and then I've got 2 ounces of chopped tomato. So what I actually do is I'll take a handful of onion, a handful of tomato, and chop it up for the entire week. So then all I do is have to grab pieces of it as I measure it, and then I'm good for the whole week. And then I let that all sit overnight as I mix it up, and then I'm going to take that and throw it over the top of my burgers today. So for this meal, I'm going to have, it's actually 500 calories on the dot. There's 47 grams of protein. I've got 8 grams of carbohydrates, and I've got 32 grams of fat. Now, again, remember, I save my carbs for the evening, but then my meal will be leaner. Since there's so much fat in this one, I'll choose a leaner protein source for the evening and have a higher amount of carbohydrates, and that's kind of how I counter that. For those that are interested in this, half a serving size of this, again, you're looking, if I can do my math here, you're going to look at 250 calories if you were to do a 4-ounce burger and then cut this in half with like half a tablespoon instead of a full tablespoon like I did. You're roughly going to have, what is that, look, 23-ish, 24 grams of protein would be in that. You'd only have 4 grams of carbohydrates, and you'd have 16 grams of fat if you were to cut this entire thing in half. So again, this is a quick, easy meal for me because I've prepped my proteins. I make this little marinade, or what I call my burger sauce, and this is a good go-to for me. So just an idea for you guys. Again, play around with it, make your own variation of it, and see what you think. All right.